Folks, there's Jumpin' Jeff Farmer. Jeff, a while back, what a match you had with Motley.
Yep. Probably the hardest match I ever had in my life. But I don't like it when things aren't going my way.
サスケを捉える。サスケの動きがかなり危ないぞ。さあ、タップダウン。垂直落下ブレンバスター。
Whether you like it or don't like it, sit down and look at it because it's the best going today. Woo!
All right. Greetings to all you smarks, jobbers, and a special greeting to Vince McMahon. We know that you're watching. Prepare to be stuffed with pro wrestling goodness. Welcome to the debut of the Pro Wrestling Smorgasbord. My name is John. And my co-host is the man that refuses to do the job, even when it's for the benefit of the business. He won't do jobs. He's the man that's formerly known as StreamGuys13. He dropped that gimmick. He's got a new one now. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome Jesse.
Hey, what's up, guys? How you guys doing? Drop the gimmick. Was that a gimmick? Storm guys?
You had a whole gimmick going, the hardcore icon or something. I don't know. It was supposed to be like a cross between Val Venus and Sting.
Hello.
I don't know what was going on there. But,
that's called Ric Flair.
yeah, I feel a little screwed up. I haven't done one of these shows in a long time. It's been a couple weeks. I got a nice zit right there, which everyone can see. Can you see that? Well, can you see me?
Yeah,
and,
I can see you.
You know, it was a good holiday and everything. How was your holidays?
Very great, very cold. Actually, snow here in Texas.
Really? I got a blizzard out there right now.
Blizzard.
Well, anyway, this is the Smorgasbord. It's now open for business. We're currently live at justin.tv/stayballsy. You can also download this episode, the MP3 version, at stayballsy.com. You can only do that after we actually do it live, though, because it didn't be impossible. What do you think about the name? We kind of talked about it, and I was really caught up on like food for some reason when we were doing this. I had all these different ideas. One was the Pro Wrestling Diner, and we could have like it would look like these boxes would look like a diner thing, and I don't know. I had all these guys kind of weird ideas, but we settled on that. I think it's a pretty good name.
What is a smorgasbord, or how the fuck you pronounce it?
Smorgasbord, for people that know. It's basically a crazy buffet style restaurant. They have these throughout the country. Usually like they're like Dutch buffets. There's a lot of desserts and a lot of good foods and stuff like that. So I think the idea behind this, like a smorgasbord, is an insane buffet of food. So the Pro Wrestling Smorgasbord, this is an insane buffet of pro wrestling goodness. All the pro wrestling that you can stuff into your orifices. And, of course, you made all the artwork. You made the intro thing and the art we're looking at right now. So,
Yes, a lot of work, a lot of nights trying to think of a name that wasn't taken or was just stupid yelling, creative differences.
Yes, a lot of fights.
Shots being fired.
Right. So, I'm digging it. What are people in the chat saying right now?
They're talking about my room.
They're talking about my zit. They're talking about your room. That's cool. All right. As long as the important things are being discussed. That's all that matters.
Nothing pertaining to this show.
Yeah, right. So this is going to work. Instead of like recapping everything that's happened on every wrestling show, like going, Zack Ryder lost, and John Cena no soul to move, and Triple H came out and buried half the roster. Instead of going like blow by blow, we're gonna have like several different wrestling related topics. I'm gonna come with some that I want to talk about. Hopefully you have some that you'd like to speak about, and we'll do that. We were gonna say this program for 2013, but we said, what the hell, this could be kind of like our 2012 send off thing. So I think what we'll probably do on here is go through each company and kind of give our thoughts on how they did this year, what we'd like to see them do, things like that, things we enjoyed, things that sucked, stuff like that. Right?
It's our first and last show of 2012.
There you go. That's
what you should take. That's what the title should be.
Well, you could always say that the show started 2012.
Yeah.
So
the 2 years later, we can say we've been doing this for 3 years. Yeah. 2 years later, we can say we've done it for 3 years.
Exactly. And since this is a live program, got live people in the chat right now. We're on Skype. We hope to have a segment where we take questions from you guys and also get some live callers in here to talk to us. Some topics, questions. Sometimes a lot of people don't agree with what I had to say. Now's your chance to get me one-on-one. Well, Streamgeist is here, so 2-on-1, I guess. You can confront me and tell me how dumb I am.
Honestly, if anybody wants to say anything to me, I really do want to hear it.
All right.
Like, I'm curious. I like feedback. Whether it's bad or good, I like critical feedback.
Well, everyone's got different opinions, and we got a big audience here, so I'm sure there's people that have different ideas about things, and really that's what it's all about. It's what we do here in the Smorgasbord. It's all different types of flavors. See how I always bring it back to food. Just see what I'm doing there.
Yeah, see how long it takes to get old.
Right, exactly. Another 5 minutes or so.
Feed me more.
Feed me more. I like what you're doing. You brought it back to wrestling.
Is it wrestling?
Yes, that's wrestling.
Feed me more.
So the holidays came by, and I got some wrestling-related stuff for the holidays. I want to kind of show you guys, talk about a little bit. Got a couple DVDs. Let's see here. I got a pile. First one is this one. Oh wait, that's not a wrestling DVD. That's something completely different. Hold on, flip that away.
Hentai? Oh, that's cool.
That's a good one, right?
Claymation shit.
Kind of like hentai. I got this DVD. This is CM Punk, Second City Saint, and Ring of Honor put this out. It's available ROH Wrestling website. And I haven't got a chance to check this out yet. It's 2 discs. It's got some really interesting matches on here. A lot of these I've never seen before. You got your Punk vs. Colt Cabana series, obviously. You got your CM Punk vs. Raven stuff, which was really, really good. That's a lot of the ideas of the Jericho Punk feud. They took a lot from that, where Raven
the alcohol
poured
stuff,
the alcohol on him and all that kind of stuff. They kind of took. They actually WWE takes a lot from Punk's ROH storylines, actually, quite a bit. So a lot of that stuff's highlighted here. Let's see here. CM Punk versus Terry Funk is on here. I've never seen that one.
Really?
Yeah, a lot of these matches I didn't get to see because it's like these were only available. You got to get like the DVDs or the tapes at the time, right? So
it's pretty hidden stuff.
Yeah, so I would follow it like through results, but wouldn't always be able to actually see them because I didn't have a lot of cash to throw on DVDs, Let's see here. CM Punk versus AJ Styles, 2 different matches. And special guest Ricky Steamboat. And you got Punk and Cabana versus the Briscoes, among other stuff.
That's a good one.
So I'm gonna have to check this out. It's kind of weird that I'm talking about, but I didn't see it, so I can't really give my thoughts on it or anything like that. But I just wanted to kind of show you.
Gifts.
Exactly. I just want to brag about the shit I got. And,
wave it in front of you. Put a live stream and you wave your shit in people's face.
Exactly. So it looks pretty good. I'm definitely interested in that. And the other one I got is this one. This is The Last of McGuinness. It's the Nigel McGuinness documentary that he filmed himself, made himself. He packaged it himself.
Oh, really?
Yes.
I didn't know he made it himself.
He shipped it himself. Yeah, it's completely done by him. This is the best. This is the best wrestling DVD ever, and it doesn't really have any matches on it, but it's the best wrestling DVD I ever saw.
It's a story.
It's a story. Yes, it's an incredible story. If you don't know Nigel McGuinness, he's one of the best wrestlers of the last 10 years by far. He had a short run in TNA as Desmond Wolfe, and all these wrestling documentaries was always about the guy that worked real hard. He had the dream. He worked real hard, and then he achieved the dream, and he's living the dream now. Right? It's what you always see from the WWE videos. This is a story about a guy who did not, make his dream happen through different circumstances, through just no fault of his own, really. He's by far one of the best of the last 10 years. Just basically got screwed in many, many ways. He talks about he was offered a WWE contract and they rescinded the contract, and he went to TNA and that didn't work out. And in the process of not realizing his dream, he learned a lot of important things about life at the same time, and kind of there's a big resolution at the end. I don't want to get into the details of it because I want people to check it out. That's available at nigelwrestling.com. But it's an interesting thing in this world that you'll learn as you get older, sir. Maybe you have already. But it's not always the person that's the best, you're told when you're a kid, if you work really hard and you're the best at what you do, that you'll be very successful. It's not always the case. Comes down to a lot of BS things. Why people have great success sometimes.
Oh yeah, it's mostly things that aren't really in your control. That sometimes either give you success or stop you from it.
Right. But at the end of the day, there's more to life than that. I think it's pretty much what it's about. And it kind of sheds some light on the WWE in a lot of ways. How they deal with people who aren't superstars. And they're more interested in like the bodybuilders and football players instead of people that are
famous or known or
that are actually good wrestlers. I think it's had a big impact on the business too, since they kind of became the only show in town for the most part, and why the wrestling business is down right now. There's a lot of from their own doing.
Yeah, whatever WWE does, like everybody else follows simply because WWE is like what people pertain as wrestling. So they do something stupid, then everything else looks stupid too.
And there used to be a lot of other opportunities for guys to earn a living out there.
Yeah, there's other options for people to go. Now it's just either TNA or WWE, which, again, like we were talking about earlier, you never know whether or not you're going to be successful in there. It depends on what they want you to be.
And it could be anything. Who knows?
The Duke Trojan,
right?
The dumpster.
Duke the dumpster. Yeah, you might be Duke. You just might be Duke the dumpster.
You can be Fandango. Or Fandango, whatever the fuck his name is this week.
Yeah. So that's that. Some good stuff. I definitely recommend the Nigel DVD.
I love him as a commentator.
Yeah. He does a good job with that.
Mm-hmm.
He's had just incredible matches. If you want to look up some matches of his stuff against Bryan Danielson, Daniel Bryan, those are all-time great matches in the history of wrestling. So, what do you got? Throw me something.
Wrestling DVDs. I usually like either. I have the CM Punk one. That one's really good.
Yeah,
Best in the world.
Yes.
Best in the world. I have Wrestling Road Diaries.
Oh, okay. It's Colt Cabana.
Yeah.
The first one.
Yeah, the first one. Yeah, the second one. I'm not sure. Is it out yet?
I'm not sure.
When they have Luke Gallows and Cliff Compton, those guys are wild.
Right.
Yeah, I don't have a lot of like wrestling DVDs. Some of the stuff I do watch on Netflix.
Yeah, Netflix is really good. It's got a lot of stuff on there.
Yeah, I see a lot of the WWE ones in there, but as far as wrestling DVDs, yeah, I have the Punk one, Wrestling Road Diaries. That's pretty much about it.
Good stuff.
Yeah.
Throw me a topic. What else do you have today? Oh, you know what I want to talk about? I'm going to cut you off completely.
Good.
Let's talk about WWE13 because I never really got to do that. I know you have. You've been playing it a lot.
Yeah.
What are your thoughts on the game?
I think overall, like it's one of the. Maybe I'm like I haven't been too keen on the wrestling games because 13 is actually the first wrestling game I've bought since SmackDown versus Raw 2006.
Okay, that's interesting. So what's it like when you first put it in? What's going on?
Yeah, it's like completely different. Like I think the gameplay is like much simpler. But I think since they rehashed everything in 12, like the control scheme is simpler. Anybody can really like understand it in a couple of minutes. But I think the one thing that really does stand out is really the glitches. In most of this game.
There's a lot of glitches. I mean, I think the game's really amazing. I think it's the best wrestling game that's made, I would say.
Yeah, I really, really enjoy it, especially when someone asks me like, is it a good game for a non-wrestling fan? I actually think it is because the gameplay is not like something too complex, like I said, and also the campaign mode is pretty much like a wrestling history lesson. Like it shows you the beginning of the Attitude Era. It doesn't expect you to know who Stone Cold is. It introduces you to Stone Cold, and it shows you what he did and why he became who he is.
The Attitude Era thing is awesome. The only match I think it's missing is the Brett vs. Austin match from WrestleMania
13. That's my favorite match of all time.
Really? That's a good one. Double turn.
Yeah, it's perfect. Perfectly executed. Everything.
Well done. Fair enough. Yeah, it's like the only one that's missing. But the Attitude Era mode they did a great job with. Definitely brings me back to that time. It's really strange, to think a game comes out in 2012 about the late 90s. You know, like it shows how big that time period was, It's like
not focusing on any of their current wrestlers today.
Yeah, imagine like in 1998, we're going to make a game about 1986. People would have been like, what? People would have been like freaking out, right? Like, what are you talking about?
People would ask, where's The Rock? Where's Austin and Undertaker?
When they do this now, people are like, oh, this is amazing. Thank you.
Great, yeah. It's like the closest they could to bring the Attitude Era back without putting it on TV.
Yeah. So yeah, the Attitude Era was really cool. One thing I'd like to see, it'll never happen because it's just not possible to get all the different wrestlers. But you know how they were doing the WCW, and they were doing the ratings thing in the game. If they did like if they here on Nitro, this happened, and you play the Nitro match.
Yeah, that's what I was thinking too. It'd be cool if you could flip back and forth.
I don't think they could get all those guys or they probably just don't want to pay them. They could get them, they just don't want to pay them to, get all these guys like that and get
they definitely have
in there to do commentary. So
you can find them, dig them out from a hole somewhere.
Right? Yeah. Well, like yeah,
they do.
And also a lot of those guys are contracted with TNA, so it wouldn't be possible.
Yeah, they definitely have the video libraries, but as far as like the content in the game, I think there is a lot. The story mode's pretty good, very thorough. I love the commentary, JR and King back on the table. Even some new recordings that they did for the game.
Yeah, I think when Mankind actually won the title, it was Michael Cole who did the commentary, and Mick Foley always said that he wondered what it would have been like if JR had done it. And in this game, JR actually does it. I guess the way he would have, which is a cool thing.
Yeah, I noticed that. It's really cool.
One thing I did, I got excited because there's just one guy on there. He's a user on there. His name's Dre41. Have you seen this dude? He made all of ECW and the created wrestlers.
Really? I'm pretty sure I downloaded his stuff.
He made all the wrestlers. He made all the arenas and everything, all the logos. So I'm like, I'm gonna make ECW again. I'm gonna bring it back for Universe mode. And I set it up and I start doing it. And Universe mode doesn't really work that well. Like it just does the same matches over and over, which I was kind of disappointed in.
Yeah.
Because I thought the cool thing about it was like, it's gonna like book matches. I'll just play and I don't have to like worry about this and that. But it just keeps doing the same things over and over. And I was like, kind of defeats the purpose of it in a lot of ways.
Yeah, when you play Universe mode, because like I said, I haven't played since 2006. When I went to Universe mode, I was expecting like you said, for it to book storylines for me, to make rivalries, and to make the championship title shots, and to book the pay-per-views for me and all that. But yeah, you end up fighting the one same person. I fought Santino like 10 times over the course of the year, on pay-per-view, off pay-per-view. And it's funny because even though you get the option to switch out your opponent, I can switch out Santino for, say, like, I don't know, Zack Ryder, which would be easier. Like, switch out for Zack Ryder. But then the next week, I'm fighting Santino again. Like, they'll keep doing it until you play it.
Until you have to do it.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I think something I like to see improve is the Universe mode. I think there's a lot you could do there. If you like set feuds with guys and make them do certain things, and I don't know, it just repeats itself. But it seems like the big thing coming out of W13 now is that THQ is going bankrupt, or they filed for bankruptcy.
Yeah.
So is there going to be another one?
Well, first of all, I think it's funny how wrestling fans, I'll admit, wrestling fans are so self-centered, where they think THQ is going bankrupt, so that means WWE 13 sucked. It's like THQ makes more. They make more games than just the wrestling games, but they've said that THQ is not going under. They are bankrupt, but that doesn't mean everybody's at a job or they're not going to work anymore. Plans are for now that 14 has already started in development. So they're new animation. Yeah, they're planning to do it. Who knows what might happen from here till then, but they've already done the animations and I don't know, whatever else they're adding to the game.
It's been a strange history with THQ because THQ, they started with WCW making wrestling games, and then EA made the Attitude Era games, and then the THQ games were a lot better. And then what happens is they kind of flipped, where WWE took over the THQ engine, the same engine and license that WCW had, and WCW went to EA, and they've been with them since then. So be kind of interesting to see if maybe they would go back to EA or something like that, but I hope not, because those games were not as good in any way.
No, EA doesn't like to do things that they don't consider are sports.
Right.
So I don't know if you remember when UFC tried to get their game done with EA said that UFC was not a real sport.
Yeah, but then they made their own. They made their own MMA game later on. It's that sold.
After THQ made
money
UFC,
on it, they go, oh shit, okay, we'll do one too. Sure.
And they got like some of the most no-name fighters of all time.
Right. What? Yeah, it's just, I think it's the best thing about the game is just like you could download any wrestler, people make amazing stuff, and you could add your music in there and all that. It's really cool. And
yeah, it's really the best.
It really becomes like anything you want it to be. You know, it's cool.
Yeah, that's really where I think the game shines. It's just the sheer amount of customizable things.
Right.
And because I got frustrated in the universe mode, not making like good feuds or whatever, I tried out the story mode, the creative story mode, and you can pretty much make whatever you want. You can add in dialogue, you can add in any cutscene, interfere in any match. You can pretty much do any angle you want to do on there. They have plenty of stuff for you to get creative with it too.
Yeah, it seemed like it was a lot to do. I was like, I don't know about this one. The story mode.
Yeah, I wasn't.
It seemed like you could do so much, but it's just gonna take a lot of time.
Yeah. It's funny because it did take me a long time to do I did about like a 6-month angle for me and my friends to play. Yeah, it was really long. I even I didn't know because it's so hard to type on the gamepad.
Yeah.
And then on the bottom they told me, you can plug in your keyboard. Like I was stupid or something. I was like, okay. Grabbed the keyboard, plugged it in there, and it's just so easy to type out the dialogue so quickly. So, but when you do plan it out and it comes out the way you want it to, especially when my friends played it, they didn't have any idea where the angle was going. So it's pretty fun.
Feels good.
Yeah, it is fun to see something planned out and book it the way you want it to be, and play the matches too, of course.
Right. Can have Bugs Bunny and Thor come out.
Yeah. Take out Ryback.
Exactly.
Take out Tensai now.
Yes. What else you got for topics, dude? Throw me something.
We have Tout.
Tout?
What happened to Tout? Yeah.
What happened to Tout? What happened to Tout? I don't know. People just got tired of doing it. They probably received complaints that it was dumb, and the ratings went down. Maybe they blamed that instead of the more important things like the crappy booking and stuff. I don't know.
The main event.
I'm glad it's gone though. I wouldn't question it too much.
They still mention every once in a while.
Are you upset there's no touting? Do you want to tout? Is that you were like about to do it? You were getting ready. Like you were waiting. You were writing out your touts, and then you're like, I'm gonna do it, and that's when they stopped doing it all together.
You write them? I thought you took a video.
Yeah, but maybe you scripted it out. I don't know what you're doing.
Oh, I had like a long list.
You tell me what goes on there. I don't know.
I had a long list of touts that I was ready to do.
Yeah, you're ready to rock with the touting, and then just
to the WW universe. No, I think even the first couple of weeks where they said they were going to show like 4 or 5 touts every hour for the 3-hour Raws.
Yeah.
I think even they realized how bad, because you can tell they look through all the touts to see which ones they want to air. And I think they even got a little, they started scraping the bottom of their barrel, which ones were stupid. And they tried to get the less stupid ones. And they were still pretty damn bad. And I'm pretty sure someone backstage said, fuck this. This is just too much. It's horrible.
Yeah.
There's no way anybody
Yeah, but you know what? They think they only have so much time, and they just got replaced with other crap, because now they do the thing with the app, and they explain how to do it.
Oh, my God.
So I think, honestly, if I had to tell you why, I think it's just because they only have a certain amount of time to do advertisements, and they just have other things to put in that spot. I mean, I don't know. But
I think they realized what it was.
Yeah. Do you want to go into the year-end stuff, or do you want to, you got anything else?
Yeah, sure, just go right in there.
All right, so what I want to do is kind of look at the 3 big American companies, which would be Ring of Honor, TNA, and WWE. And we just got to have a little discussion about each one in 2012 and maybe what they should do in the next coming year if we feel like doing that. If we can think of something, I don't know.
Yeah, so to see where they should go.
Let's start, we'll go from the bottom to the top, or from the top to the bottom, depending on how you look at wrestling. We go with Ring of Honor first.
Oh, really?
Yeah. And I feel like 2012 was kind of like a little bit of like a lost year for them. I think last year they had a lot more momentum when they signed the Sinclair deal, and which is a huge publicly traded company. Got behind them. They had a TV show, and you thought maybe this year they'd break out a little bit more, but they had a lot of issues. They had a lot of problems with their pay-per-views. I don't know if you've heard about
cutting the feed cutting in and out.
Their iPay-per-views basically, several of them in a row. People would order them and they just wouldn't work, and that's a really bad thing to have happen. Yeah,
and then you'd have them either refund the pay-per-view or offer it to them later.
Yeah.
And that's just not the way you do it. Ring of Honor already has a very small fan base. You can't not serve them already. The people who are already willing to pay.
A lot of people got mad and never came. Maybe never came back. Hopefully, I don't know. Another thing I personally saw with the TV show, Jim Cornette, who's a great wrestling mind, but didn't really maybe gel that well with the ROH fans. And you start seeing a lot of things on the TV show that were kind of weird for Ring of Honor, like stuff WWE would do where, guys just run out and start punching each other and DQ finishes and like random kind of more sports entertainment type stuff. And what eventually happened a couple months ago, Cornette got taken off TV and put more... first of all, he was taken off the book. He wasn't the booker anymore. And then they took his character off TV, and now it seems like he's completely gone altogether.
Yeah, I think he wanted to step down because, he himself, and I appreciate that he can admit that he says that he had a vision for Ring of Honor, and for whatever reason, it's not clicking, and he understands that.
Yeah.
So, I mean, I did
some stuff that was really strange. Like, they stopped running the places that Ring of Honor was the most successful. Like, they would only go to New York City, every couple months. And the Northeast every couple months, and they started going to, the old NWA, like the territories Jim Cornette liked, like Charlotte and stuff like that, where the fans don't even know what is this Ring of Honor, So they had some weird decisions and things like that didn't really gel, I think, with the Ring of Honor fan base, maybe.
Mm-hmm.
They've been just basically, this is what happens. This is what happens to these indie companies, like promotions, these smaller promotions, where the WWE just kind of picks all the talent away. And it's kind of what happened to ECW. You look at the end and it's like, well, those rosters are not good. And, this happened into the Ring of Honor. All the top guys got picked off. And now they have a very good roster, but a very small one, at the same time. With that being said, though, they did have some great matches this year. Michael Elgin was probably, I think he was like the standout star. He had a great match with Davey Richards. And Elgin versus Steen, the final battle show was a really great show, and I think Steen is a really interesting champion. He's pretty much unlike anything that's in wrestling. He's one of the best talkers out there.
I think Steen is one of the few people who has the complete package nowadays.
Right.
Like, of course, he doesn't have a great look that everybody's used to, but I don't think everybody should have that same look.
And the guy's incredible. The guy's just really incredible.
Yeah,
he's amazingly good. He should be making a lot more money than he is, and doing more. But it's like we've talked about with Nigel before. It's the same kind of thing.
Yeah, like we said, you can't really control that whenever you want to. Right. I'm pretty sure if they could be making more money, they definitely would be.
Right. So overall, they had a year that I don't know if they grew that much. But there's still some really great wrestling. Steam is really entertaining, and I enjoyed a lot of the stuff they put out. But it's the next year I'd like to see them grow a little more. I'd like to see the company that owns them now, Sinclair, show a little bit more care for the company maybe, and try to
try to spread them.
I'd like to see them return to their old territories, and it's probably gonna take a little while for them because now what they have to do. A lot of the talent got picked away, so now you got to kind of build new talent. You got to find more guys. You got to, that's another thing I'd like to see them do is add to the roster if they can. I don't have the books in front of me. They need to hire like 10 more guys. There's a lot of good guys out there they could get, and keep doing what they do.
I definitely think that they need to find a way to create some buzz in the company too. They need to make something to get people talking about ROH. Either whether it's an angle, whether it's a pay-per-view or something, they need to get the word out, get the fans talking to other fans.
It's hard because the wrestling business it all trickles down, so it all starts with WWE. Really, people get interested in WWE because that's the one you find easier. That's the one that gets people in the door. People find it. Oh, there it is.
It's on USA Network.
And then what happens is we all did this. And it's like you find WWE and you go, I love wrestling. There's other wrestling, and you start going and looking at other wrestling and finding more wrestling. But if WWE is sucking and, no one's watching that, or less people are watching that, or people being turned off by that, it's going to be less people looking for the other stuff, which is hard to find, so. It all starts with them. It all starts with them, really.
Especially, it kind of annoys me when people get spoiled by WWE. Like, they see the production value and the show and all that, like the commentators and everything. They see everything such big time, and they look at Ring of Honor and they're just not impressed. Despite what they see in the ring, they're just not impressed.
Right.
Oh, well.
Looking at some of the comments here.
Yeah, I see them.
All right. So that's TNA. Why don't you talk about TNA for us? What did you feel about the last year?
I'll admit that I didn't start watching TNA until Bound for Glory series started.
This entire year?
Yeah, I didn't start watching until Bound for Glory series started, which was the beginning of the summer or something?
Yeah.
Just because I was like following the point system, because I remember Samoa Joe, the year before this one, had like negative 15 points. I want to see if that was going to happen again.
Yeah.
But they started turning things around. I mean, ironically, I don't think it's a coincidence, but when Russo left the company, the booking got better.
Yeah.
And the storylines got better.
Yes.
Funny how that works. And everything started getting, like, the characters started getting better. And I think what kept me watching over and over again was their focus on Austin Aries. Because I'm a big fan of Austin Aries, and I've always wanted to see him be a main event somewhere, because I think he deserves it. And when he got a shot at the title at Destination X, I didn't have any clue that they were going to put the title on, really. Yeah. Especially not from Bobby Roode, where everybody pretty much knew for a fact that he was going to fight James Storm at the end of Bound for Glory.
Yeah, I think I'll say my personal favorite pay-per-view of all the year was Destination X, because that match had more question marks as to what would happen in the end, and more intrigue than anything that was put out.
There was no way for you to really predict it.
Yeah, that was the best. That was the best match of all of wrestling. It's the best of what wrestling is, when you have two guys that are like really strong, and they go against each other, and you have no idea what's going to happen, and the match is excellent as well, which also helps, and then you have a great finish and all that stuff. So,
and it was also nice to see them to see them do what WWE never does, is like break away from the plan. Yeah. Like, the plan was James Storm Roode main event Bound for Glory, but they said this guy's exploding, this guy's getting popular. Let's give him a turn, and they didn't give him like
people what they want.
They didn't give him like a 1 month reign like everybody predicted. He had a pretty nice long reign too.
I think it could still be going. We'll talk about that too.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, I think overall, I think the TNA had a better overall year than WWE. I enjoyed it a lot more.
Yeah, definitely.
Really good matches.
There was a time where I was just looking forward to Impact constantly. Like, every Thursday, I wanted to tune in.
Right. Bound for Glory series is amazing. That the entire 1 or 2 months that it goes on for, it's a lot of intrigue in that. It's really entertaining stuff. There was several Impacts that were pay-per-view quality shows. Yeah,
and the best part about Bound for Glory series is that every single match matters something.
Right.
Everything matters. Like, whether you win or lose, every single match, even on a normal Impact, does matter in the end.
Yeah, I mean, despite how good this product was, you only saw maybe a little bump in the ratings for them. But I think overall this year, I think they took a step in the right direction, especially compared to the previous years. And I think they actually did maybe gain some fans this year. Not too many.
Yeah, but some people did turn around, because, especially me, I was not watching TNA on a constant basis, simply, for obvious reasons.
Well, they made you not want to watch it, and I honestly, it was so bad at one point. It was just like, you don't want to watch it ever again, and it had to be really great for you to come back. And I think that for a while they had that going.
I'm not sure if you saw this, but I'm not sure if it was 2009 or 10 where, I don't know. I don't remember there being a midget there, but there was a midget masturbating in a trash can.
That was like the first year of the company. It was Vince Russo stuff. Yeah, I remember that.
I just remember watching that. And I
used to watch the first year, because they used to do weekly pay-per-views, if you believe it or not.
Yeah,
I think they were like $15 or $20 a week. And what I did, I had this back then. Like, the cable was completely different. This was like 2001, I guess, right? Something like that.
Yeah.
And it was all like analog stuff, and I had you get these like these black boxes. You buy them in like Chinatown, and then they would just unscramble all the channels. So I was able to watch that, along with some other things I was able to unscramble. That's for another show. That's something completely different. But yeah, I used to watch back then. But back to this year, I think there's some stuff that's not good though. That had a lot of potential. And we talked about Austin Aries.
Your cap.
What's that?
Your hat.
No. Oh yes. Okay, we'll get to that in a second. I am the leader of that group. Well, yeah, I mean Austin Aries was like the biggest thing they had this year, and he was the biggest. He was a star. He became a star basically in the company, a top guy.
Yeah.
And then they kind of cut his legs out for him a little bit, similar to kind of like CM Punk in a lot of ways with WWE, where he got over doing one thing. He got over being this arrogant Austin Aries character, a heelish character.
Yeah.
And then as soon as he won the title, he became the baby kissing face.
Yeah.
And then they kind of cut his legs out, and Jeff Hardy, they give Jeff Hardy the ball, and now he's just like a full-blown, insane, typical heel. And I think had they kept the belt on him, I think it'd be much more interesting, because you think about it, you look at all these matches we're getting now. We got Jeff Hardy versus Angle, Jeff Hardy versus Rude. It's all matches that they've done a million times.
Yeah.
But Austin Aries is a much fresher character. Him versus Angle is interesting. Him versus anyone. A lot of these they haven't done. Like they did him versus RVD. They threw it away on Impact, but that could have been like a big match.
Him versus Hardy, what I thought was a great match too. I forgot.
The match was awesome. The match was excellent. But having Jeff as the champion, it kind of reeks of that sameness, and this is WWE retread kind of thing that they seem to have that stigma about them. That this is where WWE guys go. When WWE doesn't want them, they go there and they win
main
titles.
Event.
Right.
Yeah, they main event immediately. But unfortunately, they're doing that to keep Hardy happy because his contract's ending like January, February, somewhere around there.
He's pretty much getting to do whatever he wants, and that includes you could hear his thoughts, telepathy, including this week on Impact where he's watching the Rude Aries match, and you see a shot behind his head, and all the sound stops during the match. This is during the match. Commentary stops, everything. You don't hear the crowd. You hear him talking about Aries and Rude, and he's going, yes, they don't deserve to be champion like me. And then he goes back to the match, and he's like, what is, it's very weird. There's some weird stuff going on there.
Does it like zoom so far into the back of his head where you can see the inside of his brain?
Maybe that's what happened. I don't.
You can see his retinas.
Something weird. He was electrocuted, and something happened.
It's like The Shining.
Yeah. So I mean, him as a top guy, it's not as interesting. I'd like to see. I don't know. I'd like to see like.
I'm also not a fan of Jeff Hardy promos.
Yeah. Well, he's got his fans. He's got what he does. But it's all stuff we've seen before. Aries is fresher. Yeah. And them too, I think they also have the issue like Ring of Honor where the roster's small. I'd like to see them get a lot more guys in there if it's possible. It doesn't seem like it is. There's a lot of Hogan on the show. A lot of stuff I don't like with Hogan. Seems like his segments are usually the worst parts of the show.
Yeah, he opens and closes every show. And
his segments are terrible. There's stuff where he brings all the wrestlers into the room, and then he starts going off on, hey brother, why do you want the match or not? And then they go, yes, we do. And then he decides to. I don't know what's up with that. The Championship Thursday stuff's horrible.
I don't know why they do Championship Thursday. I mean, you're kind of wasting title shots on weekly TV. I mean, just save that for the pay-per-views, kind of.
And then Aces and Eights, which started off like a cool idea.
Interesting,
right?
At least.
It started off interesting, and now it's just at the point where it just makes you want to puke.
They don't even know the problem that they do with these, and then WWE is guilty of it too. They do this giant angles, like the anonymous GM and stuff like that. And the problem is you can tell week in and week out, they don't know where the hell this is going.
They have no idea where it's going. Yeah, definitely. What it is now, it's Devon, Luke Gallows, and then a bunch of dudes with terrible masks.
His name is Doc.
It's at the point where you just laugh because like now they have like their own entrance when they come out. It looks like they're coming out of a janitor's closet.
They have their own room. Yeah.
It looks like they're coming out of a janitor's room in the back of the building, and there's a guy with a stupid ski mask. And it's really bad. It had a lot of potential. We'll talk about the Shield and stuff like that, but the Shield, they're actually doing a good job with that. It's exactly what Aces and Eights should have been. And there's so much indie talent out there, so much young talent, and that's what Aces and Eights should have been. Like these guys that didn't get chances, but now they're invading or something. And there's so many wrestlers out there, you know, like your Sami Callihan, your Colt Cabanas, Cliff Compton, Steen, any of these guys. I mean, instead I don't know what's going on with this. I don't think they have any idea, honestly.
The real issue is that you need to start putting names to faces. The difference between Shield and Aces and Eights is because Shield, we know all three of their names. We know who they are, and we know what they're doing. They're trying to fix the injustices in the company. Aces and Eights, we have no idea why the fuck they're there.
And it's just we've talked about before, where it just got completely out of control. Blow torches, people get hit with hammers.
Yeah, exactly. And you only know two of them. The rest of them, who the hell is the rest of them? Like, you don't even know.
So I think TNA had an awesome year. A lot of things that seemed like they were going to be really good didn't really turn out to be that way. And I think the story is, I think there'll be times where they're good, but at the end of the day, as long as Bischoff's there, it's going to have elements of suck to it.
There's a lot of there's a lot of people who believe Bischoff, just because Bischoff isn't on TV, they believe he's not with the company anymore. He was there. He's one of the Aces and Eights guys, that because someone took the audio and like took the effect off it, and it was his voice. He was doing one of the promos. They went in the Microsoft Sound Editor or whatever the fuck they used. But I mean, we all remember Bischoff and his fetish for motorcycles. Yeah. This is the same shit. Like, he went on Netflix and he saw Sons of Anarchy and he's like, holy shit, look at this.
Right. No, that's what they always do. That's how Sting became the Joker. Someone saw The Dark Knight like 3 years after it was out. It's like, oh, look at this. Okay.
Exactly.
Sting wears paint like this guy does. You're him.
Exactly. That's why when I saw this, it's like Sons of Anarchy started in 2008, dude.
Yeah, I feel like TNA is kind of like at war with itself, where there's people there like the Dave Laganas, and they know what to do and how to fix things, and sometimes it gets through. But for the most part, like at the end of the day, like the Hogan and Bischoff regime is just gonna like mess it all up, and or bring it down. Let's say mess it all up, but bring it down a notch and turn it into silliness, it seems like it happens too much.
When you get Hogan and Bischoff, everything's gonna go down.
So I think for 2013, get rid of Hogan and Bischoff, and maybe
at least get rid of one of them. That's all I ask. Like, really, just get rid of one at least, preferably Hogan.
I thought Hogan was good. Like when he was barely, like during the summer, he was like barely on because Bischoff wasn't there. Yeah. Bischoff was gone for a couple months. He was working on some Scott Baio show or something, and Hogan was like used once in a while, and that's when the show was really good. As soon as Bischoff came back, then it all goes downhill again.
Hogan knows Charles in charge.
Because then Hogan's got his buddy who gives him more TV time, and then he,
Yeah.
Bischoff,
that's what I'm saying.
Bischoff botches it behind the scenes. Hogan botches it on the show.
Exactly. They have when they're together, they kind of help each other fuck up the show, and they think they're doing good.
So I'd say 2013. Let's get some new younger guys in there. Let's get Aces and Eights back on track. Have some kind of direction with that. And maybe they know where they're going. I think the last month was all tape shows. I think they were just trying to kill time. So maybe they have an idea what's going to happen now.
Yeah, like
Gales and Kazarian are awesome.
Yeah, they're easily the highlight of the show. They're like what I look forward to every single week, really. Whatever segment they're doing, even if they're not wrestling, whatever segment they're doing.
Right.
Just look for the Apple TV.
And like somebody's saying in the chat, at least they're doing better than last year. I completely agree with that.
Yeah, it's true.
They're definitely doing better than they have been in a long time, and I always watch the show and enjoy the show. So
the difference is I'm fucking watching now.
But I always want to see them. Yeah, I want to see them. Do really well. I want to see them be amazing, and I want to see get the ratings up huge and actually challenge the WWE. So then the WWE will improve itself. So
it's funny because someone that I know asked me, do you ever think TNA is ever going to reach WWE's ratings? And I said, no, I don't think they're going to reach WWE's ratings. I think WWE is going to reach TNA's ratings.
That's more possible, yeah.
They're going to come down to their level. Yeah. And at some point in time, they're going to be like neck and neck, only because they're lowering WWE.
That's an indictment on TNA also, because if WWE's losing viewers, and I think we're going to talk about WWE now, I think they actually did lose viewers this year compared to last year. TNA's doesn't seem like they're grabbing at these people.
Yeah, they're not foolproof either. Like, even when they did the creative direction, everybody kept on saying that there's such a stigma on their company that it sucked for so long that people will never go to it.
Yeah, they got a lot of bad things that they have to fight through, and they one of them is that this is where WWE rejects go. This is where the old guys get pushed. Things like that.
Do you remember
And,
the electric cage match?
What, with the Dudleys?
Yeah.
Yeah, it was stupid.
It wasn't really electricity. As soon as
I
you
know,
touched
yeah.
the fence, the
was
lights would flash.
Yes, I know.
And all the chants all night was "Fire Russo."
Yeah. People like Hulk Hogan, he brings people in, but he just as many people as he brings in, the same amount of people don't want to watch. You know, because he's on there. It's weird, you know. I think, they got to keep pushing through and stop feeding into these stereotypes that they have, and you know, all that. So WWE, what do you want to say about it? 2012.
You go first.
You want me to go first?
Yeah.
I think they had a lot of problems this year. I think they lost viewers this year.
That's putting it nicely.
I think it was a lot of the sameness. I don't think it was really worse than previous years. 2011, you had the great Punk thing. You didn't really have that this year, though. It was a year that they focused more on bringing old guys back and putting them in main events than making new guys. But with saying that, I think over the last couple maybe months, they've realized this. Oh shit, we don't have anyone that's over except for people we bring back, and they've started to try to do this with your Rybacks, with your.
They only realize how shallow their roster is when their main event people get injured.
Right.
When they finally realize that people are missing, they just shoot somebody out of their ass like Ryback.
Right. I feel like a lot of the year was them waiting to see. Whoa, you're right.
Yeah, a little bit of a earthquake here.
I think a lot of the year was them waiting to see what The Rock was going to do, if he was going to work with them again, right? Because it seemed like they had one direction with Punk as the champion or as the face champion, and Cena a little above him, and then several heels. And as soon as Rock, signed the contract or whatever, I'm going to work Royal Rumble. Then they go, oh shit, okay, change everything.
Throw everyone away.
Change everything around. Punk's a heel now, and because we need someone to fight him, and blah blah blah. I think that kind of messed them up a little bit. But with that being said, again, I think the Punk Rock match is going to be cool.
Yeah, it's definitely a big match. I just think that, and I keep saying this about WWE in general, like everything that they do that's good, I say it's good, but it could be so much better.
Yeah.
Like if they really wanted to make this match big, it could be huge, but there's just not, they didn't do enough to make it seem like a giant match. So a match that not only wrestling fans would care about, but also people who don't watch it too.
Yeah, I think CM Punk, he was the champion all of this year, so we should talk about him. Yeah, I think he's had one of the strangest title runs ever. One of the most bizarre title runs of all time, because first of all, he's the champion, but he doesn't main event any shows. Cena's always main eventing all of his shows.
Yeah, he went like almost his entire year of not main eventing anything.
Right.
Until the only time he main evented a show was because Cena was injured.
Right, and then like we said, as soon as Rock decides he's going to work, then they completely change his character around.
Yeah.
For that, and there wasn't really any kind of storyline reason. He goes from just being an outstanding individual to locking Jerry Lawler in a cage and just punching him because you wouldn't call him best in the world, even though he did for weeks, before that.
Yeah, exactly.
Just became a really over the top heel.
It really does anger me that you decide the direction of one character because of what someone else is doing. Like whether or not Rock made that signature to be on Royal Rumble or not depended. Like CM Punk's career depended on whether or not Rock decided to do the Rumble or not.
Yeah, I mean, and I think they also kind of messed up Punk's character before that too. I mean, it all goes back to the Kevin Nash situation.
I think
he got over huge being one character, and that was the guy who did the pipe bomb promo and all that. And then he becomes the baby kissing baby face, right?
Which I hated.
And then he becomes the completely over the top, disgusting heel person that runs away as a coward and all that stuff.
Literally in a month.
Right. Yeah, well, over the course of the year, all this stuff happened.
But as far as like them as a whole year, I felt this way for a while, but this year was more pertinent than the other ones because I feel like they really do put filler content in between WrestleMania and SummerSlam. Everything else is really like from shows like Over the Limit and Night of Champions and Hell in a Cell. They just throw shit. It's not really a main event. They should slap things together, especially the mid card.
Yeah.
none of these pay-per-views
Yeah, the
matter.
mid card was just really bad. None of it mattered the entire year. Like nothing that happened with any of the
Nope.
Intercontinental title or U.S.
Nope.
title, any of that stuff meant
Exactly.
anything really.
It gets passed around, but no feuds, no like good matches, no focus, not one damn video package for an Intercontinental title match or anything like that. Nothing.
Now they're doing this stuff where people are just heels all of a sudden, like Del Rio. And is he a face? Like,
Yeah.
What happened now? Because he was a face, and then on Raw he was fighting Cena.
I have no clue, dude. I have no fucking clue what they're doing with that.
Right. I think anyone that watches the show can tell you their problems are pretty obvious. You can't have these guys come back, your Lesnar's, Triple H, whoever you want it to be, and act like they're so much better than everyone else. And then once they go, so do the ratings and all that. And that, that's your own fault. And if you're saying this guy's the most important guy, and then he's not there,
Yeah.
well, why am I going to watch this? You trained the audience to be that way, just to come back for WrestleMania. Yeah. It's going to happen again. I'm sure they'll get a little pop, when Rock is back and all that. Because again, you train the people to think these are the guys that matter. Undertaker, Rock, Triple H.
It's what I told my friends. There's 5 people that matter in that company. There's John Cena, The Rock, Lesnar, Undertaker, and Triple H, and then you have the rest of the roster.
Yeah.
That's it. And only those 5 people can beat each other and fight each other legitimately. Right. It's really bad. Yeah, I do agree, because I know so many people who they start watching wrestling in January, WWE in January, and then they tune out after WrestleMania.
Yeah.
Because they know that it's just bullshit from there.
Yeah. With that being said, though, I think, like I said earlier, the last couple of months, I think they've started to realize they have to make new stars because, Punk is hurt, Cena gets hurt. And they've done a good job with a couple dudes. Ryback, I'm not really a huge fan of him or anything, but I think they've gotten him to the point where people like him.
At this point, I just want to see somebody new in that damn ring. Like, really, like...
Yeah, I think it was 2 weeks ago, it was Ryback. It was this happens all the time. It was Ryback fighting the Shield guys. And you're like, wow. 6 months ago, none of these guys were even around.
Even known. Yeah, exactly. I think
at this Shield, they're doing a good job with the Shield. I think they look back at the mistakes they made with Nexus, maybe, and they're like, okay, this is how. Okay, they have to win to be thought of as an impressive unit. Okay, all right. We'll have.
Who knew that you had to win to look good?
Who knew you had to do good stuff so people would like you?
Holy shit.
Yeah, and those guys are really, really good.
The only thing that I hate about WWE is, not the only thing, but one of the things that scare me from watching week in and week out is, are they going to do that really stupid angle or that really stupid decision that just throws the Shield away?
Yeah.
That just throws them out of the water.
You never know. You never know. But it seems like it's been okay so far.
Yeah, and that it's kind of like you're walking with somebody with putting a gun behind your head. Like, you don't know when they're just going to pull the trigger and just kill them dead.
What about Dolph Ziggler?
Ziggler, I actually wanted to talk to you about TLC and Ziggler, because that night I felt that it was Ziggler's night. He had to go, in my opinion, he had to go over clean over Cena.
Yeah.
That would have made him. That really would have solidified him, despite how stupid the feud has been, what it's based on, and all that stuff. Why the Money in the Bank contract is even on the line. But if he would have just beaten him clean, there would have been no excuses that he was just a better man that night, and he just got the best of the faces.
He's not made yet, but he's not destroyed yet.
Yeah, exactly. I agree.
Someone that's been yo-yoed as much as him needs to have a solid win like that.
Yeah, and then I never understand what's it going to do to Cena for him to just lose. Just lose.
It's fine. Nothing happens to him.
Nothing's going to happen. It's not like he's going to be dead in the water. It's not like that's a burial. It's just going to make Ziggler look like $1 million.
He'll do his normal promo about, I don't care, I lost.
He's going to smile. He's going to come out smiling anyway.
Yeah.
It doesn't matter what happens. So at least just like people say that Cena's lost so many matches this year. Yeah, but he always beats the shit out of the guy after the match or on Raw the next night.
I think for whatever reason, whatever the reason is, they don't see Ziggler as a top guy.
No, they don't.
They don't want to have him as a top guy, but it seems like the fans do. So there's always a struggle there. So I think now it seems like they love AJ, so much. So now she's with him, and she always gets pushed and is does everything 100% in her favor. So maybe that'll help him in some fashion. But he needs to win, because I think if it's just going to be like Big E coming out and helping him all the time, that's not going to
Exactly.
do it either, you know?
That's what I was going to talk about too. They don't seem to have enough faith in Ziggler to have him just go out there by himself.
And if he does win the title, it can't be, oh, AJ's the mastermind behind this. She brought Big E to the fold, and she's the one that's done this for him, you know, that kind of thing. Like, that'll be just as bad, you know.
He has to come out with Vicky or with Ziggler, with Langston or with AJ. He can't just come out and just win or just have a match. Right. He always has to have something like a crutch on him, which I don't really understand why.
Yeah,
he's a good enough talent. He's not like his promos are horrible. I don't really know whose bag he took a shit in backstage or something. But
whatever it is, for whatever reason, certain guys they just don't. They're like, I don't know. It's maybe a Vince thing. I don't really know. But I mean, Triple H is a face. He's a heel. Why can't Triple H come down for a month, do a job to him, and then just go disappear again? You know.
No, now you're just.
Who's he do the job to? Brock Lesnar. That's who you. I mean, really. He loses to Brock Lesnar, and then they both go.
That just like scrambles my brain. Like, what the fuck are you thinking with that booking? Like you said, Triple H comes back, does the job for Lesnar. Next night, like 2 weeks later on Raw, no sign of any of them.
They're gone.
That match was pointless.
SummerSlam main event.
Match was pointless.
And it may lead to something at WrestleMania, but again, what's going to happen after that? They're both going to go.
They're gone
again. You know?
Exactly.
Yeah.
But I just feel like they do a lot of filler content in between SummerSlam and Mania.
Absolutely.
Like, it's just constant filler. And like the people who watch from January to Mania, they have it right. They watch the shit that matters pretty much.
I think one thing that I see as a positive, they're signing a lot of really good wrestlers. Yeah, it sucks for the indie scene. Well, like the guys they have in developmental are really seem like they're good talents. You got Chris Hero down there, Cassius Ohno.
Yeah.
Ricky Steamboat.
There's a couple of guys that I see on NXT that I've never really heard of, but I'm very impressed by them. There's a guy named Leo Kruger. Have you seen him?
I've heard of him. I haven't seen him.
He's a big guy who's actually very athletic. I think he has he could be something. Bray Wyatt as well, or Husky Harris.
Yeah. Yeah,
Paige. I've seen Paige. I don't know if you've seen her. She's actually pretty damn good.
Well, the women's division's a whole other story.
And exactly. I don't know why they don't just bring up all these women. Like, it's not like the Divas division has so much stuff going on that you can't bring up one or two girls from NXT.
They have Sarah Del Rey's there as a trainer, and she's excellent. So maybe they'll help them out.
Hopefully. I mean, if it were up to me, I would just put Del Rey on TV.
Another guy like the Big Rig Brody Lee. I don't know what they call him now, but he's in NXT, and he's great. He's a big dude. He looks like a trucker. I don't know what they call him now. Who knows? Freaking Damian Rollins or something. Who knows?
Man, I swear to God, I think they go to like random name generator. Like,
some of the names are terrible. They're just real bad. I'm sorry. Come on now.
I think the only one that I really just like, Dean Ambrose, is actually not bad.
Yeah, but if your name is John Moxley, I mean, that's a step down.
I know, but
that's a badass name.
I'm talking about like as far as WWE goes, like that guy Eli Cottonwood. You're lucky you're not that guy.
Michael McGillicuddy. Your name is Joe Hennig, and they call you Michael McGillicuddy. And they go, why is he not over? I guess.
Imagine the people trying to chant McGillicuddy or "Let's go McGillicuddy."
Let's go McGillicuddy.
It's like too many vowels.
Yes.
But no, I mean, some of the names they give them are really bad, but I think some people do get away. So
what would you like to see the WWE do in 2013? Well, I would personally do. I would do at WrestleMania, it would be the jobbing WrestleMania. Everyone would do all the top names would job. Lesnar jobs to young guy. I don't even care who it is. Cena jobs to young guy. I don't care who it is.
Rock jobs
to young guy. I don't care who it is. He won't do it. But that's what would help him so much.
Yeah.
Undertaker can't job WrestleMania.
Yeah, I understand. Undertaker. I mean, if Undertaker even wrestles a younger guy, even if he doesn't win, the younger guy still looks great just for wrestling Undertaker.
I would have it like the Young Person Revolution show. Triple H jobs to someone. I don't care who it is. Lesnar,
yeah, exactly.
Cena. You know, you want to have one big match with Undertaker, and he goes over somebody. That's cool. But in the same time, whoever he beats, they get over too. The way that you book it.
Now you're just asking for the stars to align, all the planets and the stars to align.
And that would really help them tremendously. And like you said, it wouldn't hurt any of these guys.
It wouldn't. It really wouldn't. But I think it would be quite a shock if this WrestleMania really, it was, like you said, the job show. All the huge stars do jobs to the younger guys. I think that would really get a lot of people's hopes up.
Right.
To just do it for guys like Punk, Bryan, Ziggler, just the Shield, whoever the hell you want it to be.
We got some good ones in the chat. We got some good ones in the chat. We got Hazard says the Rock jobs to Brad Maddox.
JTG versus Undertaker.
JTG versus Undertaker.
Hope he wins that shit. The new Nexus goes over Cena, Orton, Brock, Triple H, and Lesnar.
That's the Shield.
Who the fuck is the triple new Nexus?
That's the Shield.
Is it?
Yeah, it's the Shield. The Shield's already better than they ever were. Well, you know.
I saw Brad Maddox is starting on Twitter calling himself the Brad Wagon.
Oh wow!
To get on the Brad Wagon.
He calls himself Bischoff Jr.
Yeah, exactly. He looks exactly like I already forget his name. What's his name? Garrett Bischoff.
Garrett Bischoff.
And then they introduced him as a ref too, which doesn't help his image.
Oh wow, they're both refs.
Yeah.
Interesting. Maybe they're related some way. What would you like to see that redo in 13? Anything?
Really, just like you said, kind of do like a push the old guard out slowly. They don't just like eradicate them, but just make all the younger guys be in the main event.
Yeah.
Like John Cena. Like, to be honest, I know John Cena is a hard worker and all, and I'm not going to tear him up or anything, but he really has no business being at the end of every single pay-per-view on every single show.
Yeah, it's pretty insane.
And like I said, it's not going to hurt him to lose every once in a while. I know they do it for the kids, but you can still put Cena in the mid-card and have those kids still cheer. Like, nothing's going to happen to him.
Yeah,
he doesn't need the
title. I don't think they know like the potential of a lot of their guys. A lot of their talent never gets to see their full potential.
Yeah, you see guys that come and go, like people who tell me, well, Caval really sucked in WWE. No wonder they never go. Like, well, they never gave him a chance to like even show a damn match.
Right.
They never gave him a chance. You never know how good these guys are until you actually see them, and they don't really ever give them a lot of time.
Right.
Or even promo. They don't even give anybody any mic time.
What I'd like to see them do too is you take every pay-per-view, and every pay-per-view you're going, we're going to make this guy this show.
Yeah, exactly.
Like TLC,
and also
TLC could have been the Ziggler show. Like if he, like the idea I had, if you don't have to do it specifically, but just like as an example, you know, like he beats Cena, and he also wins the title with the Money in the Bank. Like you made a star-making show.
Yeah.
You know. Yeah,
he beats Cena and gets the world. He becomes world heavyweight champion.
Like every show needs to have what is the purpose of doing the show.
Exactly. Like something needs to happen in every show.
What happens in the show? Like that's something that needs to be thought of. You know, who comes out as a star? What's done storyline wise here?
Just cut down on the damn pay-per-views too, man.
That might happen. We could talk about that. TNA looks like they're going to do less.
Who the fuck wants to see a one pay-per-view every month, and let alone pay for it?
The problem is no one pays for them anymore. People want to see them, but no one pays for them, and so it looks like TNA's not doing one every month anymore. Have you heard this?
Yeah, they cut down their...
I think the WWE wants to do the same thing.
Against all odds?
Yeah, no one watches that. But I think WWE wants to put them on the network.
Which one do they watch?
They want to put their stuff on the network, like some of the big pay-per-views, so...
What happened to Alex Riley? You know what happened to Alex Riley?
He pissed off John Cena.
Yeah. You know what's funny? The story is that Cena was like fucking with him, like joking around with him, and he got a little too annoying, and Riley pretty much told him to fuck off, and that was it.
Yeah.
That easy.
He just told him to fuck off, and then he's buried.
I'm pretty sure he didn't do anything horrible, because honestly, if I met John Cena in real life, if you had to be on the road with him, in my opinion, I think he'd get annoying pretty bad, pretty quick.
Well, he's like, he's the captain of the football team. He's the guy that's like, you always feel like, he doesn't deserve what he's got, but he's got it, and
he knows he can fuck around and not get punished.
You know that you're better than him, but he still gets everything. It's that kind of guy.
Yeah, I know.
Everybody knows somebody like that. That's how it is.
OJ.
OJ's mine. Yeah, he gets everything. And,
no, I mean, I really do think that just slowly pushing back the guys like not Orton because he has one more strike that they don't want to push him too much. But just like you said, bring Triple H can wrestle. He can come back at a big pay-per-view like SummerSlam, but just put over a guy like Bryan. Like,
yeah, there you go.
Just make people like really just start pushing the old people backwards. Don't push them out. Just push them back a little bit and push the newer guys forward. That way, you just have new talent and they're constantly on the road. I understand that they want to use The Rock.
Yeah, you want to get the most out of your talent too. You want to find out what they can do. Like a lot of times.
Exactly. You're paying these guys money, you're taking up their time, and you're not using anybody really to their full potential. Yeah. I understand you want to use The Rock as a huge draw, but you got to understand The Rock isn't there week in and week out, all year long. And
they do a good job at times, like WrestleMania was a huge number. And they got a huge number for the Raw, what was it, the Raw 1000th episode?
1000, yeah.
But then they don't do enough to like capture those people. Like they get them in the door, but they don't want to stay, you know?
Yeah, or they get them in the door and they show them something to pretty much tell them to get the fuck out.
Yeah, The Rock is an attraction that you use to help bolster the rest of your company.
Exactly.
He should not be like the actual company itself.
That's why also, and we could talk about this right now. I see a lot of people who are just so coy about the fact that Rock is going to beat Punk and he's going to be champion and that's going to be it. I have a serious problem with that. I'm not sure if you do.
Say that again?
Like, people seem to just accept the fact that Rock is winning at Royal Rumble.
Yeah.
I don't like that idea at all. I hate that.
Well, that's also a problem because it should be, CM Punk, the amazing champion for over a year. No one could beat him. Versus this guy that's coming back. Who will win? But Punk isn't presented that way at all. He's presented as a coward, a guy that can't win on his own. He says he's the best, but he's really not at all.
He runs away from every fight.
He runs away from everything. So when he fights The Rock, you go, he's going to lose.
Exactly.
There should be intrigue in that match, but there's not. And again, like I want to see the match just because I want to see them wrestle each other.
Yeah.
Not because I think it's going to be like an amazing finish or anything like that.
Yeah, like a great story or a great feud going in. Yeah. I just don't. I don't see why everybody just accepts the fact. Like it's a fact that he's going to win.
Yeah.
I don't think that Punk should be retaining all these times, and then Rock just comes in one night only and just takes the title away from him like that.
Well, that's what's gonna happen. So get with the times.
Hashtag where is Sakamoto?
Sakamoto, he's hanging out over here today.
He's dead.
So what I want to do is like we're gonna go for like another 20-25 minutes. So what I want to do is kind of open it up to the questions, the callers, that kind of stuff.
Sure thing.
If you want to call in, the way you do this is you go to Skype, and the Skype name is JRP the Show. That's JRP the Show, and send me an IM, and say that you'd like to come on, and then I'll call you up, and then we'll get you in here. Or you can ask some questions from the chat as well. Why don't you kind of navigate the chat? See if you see anything.
There aren't enough trolls in the Rambos. It's kind of disappointing.
Yeah, well, we'll see what happens in the future.
I like trolls.
Yes.
What?
Yes. It's a little bit of a delay, so you're not going to see them right away.
Yeah, but it says the mascot next to the Pro Wrestling Smorgasbord.
All right, this gentleman would like to come on. We're going to have him on. Wait, say that again? What did you say?
He said that the head, like the luchador head next to the logo, has a bullet hole in his head.
Is that true?
I just noticed it. He has like a little hole right here.
All right, here we go. Let's see what happens here. Anything could happen. This is live.
Hello?
How's it going?
What's up?
Hey,
What's your name, sir?
Game Hunter Freak here.
Oh, awesome. I've seen you on Twitter before. How are you doing today?
Sorry, just a bit of feedback.
Yeah, you got to turn it off. The sound on the actual stream itself. Something you'd like to discuss today?
Sorry about that. How should I put it? The WWE is basically just complete shit. The Shield is great and all, but they're gonna fuck that up easily.
Well, I can see where you're coming from. I can't tell you you're wrong. So, like, right now, it's pretty good. But that's what seems like that's the mentality a lot of people have because that's what's been done to you so many times. It's hard to like invest your emotions into it, get excited about it, because you just feel like at any time they're gonna kick you in the balls. You know.
Yeah, exactly. Like I said earlier, you never know when they're just gonna throw it out the window.
Anything could happen too. Like even on same with TNA. Like anything could happen. Like you wouldn't be surprised. Like let's say next week on Raw, like Roman Reigns turns on Rollins. Like would you be shocked?
Exactly.
Like you wouldn't just go, okay, yeah. I mean, it's like anything can happen at any time. You just don't. It doesn't phase you because it's like you expect it to go crazy.
What if they have a match at Royal Rumble and they just get completely fucking buried?
I wouldn't be shocked.
Like they're done. Like that's I understand where you're coming from.
Speaking about The Rock, though.
Mm-hmm.
Yes.
He's actually going to be fighting in the Elimination Chamber. How the fuck that's going to work, I don't fucking know.
Well, I assume he's going to win the title, and then the champion's always in the chamber, so he's probably going to be, I assume, in a chamber match, which is kind of cool because he's never done it before.
Yeah.
But that just means he's going to beat like 4 other guys.
Yeah, probably. But he's booked to be on the show. Whether or not he's actually going to be in a chamber is yet to be seen.
Well, I'll see that. It's good that he's going to do it. Like, if he only did the Rumble and Mania, that'd be really bad if he's going to win the title.
Yeah, I thought that was going to happen.
So the fact that he's doing that is a little bit better, but it's still going to be detrimental, I think, in the end. Especially if Cena's the one that beats him for the title. That doesn't do anything for you.
If they do Rock and Cena too, then this is like, fuck me. I'm not even going to watch that shit. Twice in a lifetime.
Yeah. All right, so anything else you'd like to talk about?
Like, how should I put it? It's just like I'm stuttering. I'm sorry. The heels nowadays are just basically pussies beyond belief.
Right. Yeah, I think that's part of the PG thing. Like they don't want kids to be like afraid of the heels or something. I don't really know what's up with that.
I would rather the kids be afraid because that's bullying. That's the whole thing.
Yeah.
Yeah, but they don't want that. I mean, as soon as they make a heel look good, they make them look scary. They make them look formidable. That's when Mattel gives them a call and say, "What the fuck? Why is this giant dude beating the shit out of Zack Ryder or something?" I don't know.
Yeah, but I think I don't think it's all just the PG is the problem though. Like, they could still like win matches without being completely like out of control. Like they can still beat people and look good. I mean, it's I don't know. Maybe I'm wrong. All right, thank you very much.
No worries.
Thanks for watching. We'll talk to you soon, man.
Thanks.
I will challenge them guys next time.
All right.
All right. Yes, sir.
All right.
Utter shit, huh?
All right, here we go. We got another caller. How do I do it?
Ron Jambo versus Undertaker.
This guy says he's not online. Someone sent me a message, but it says you're not online. I think he's on private or something like that. We got somebody else right now.
Is it Hogan?
No, Hogan called into the 50th episode of the show.
Yeah, bastard.
He was out of control.
He had nothing better to do.
I had to ban him. And we got a failed call.
Nice.
Excellent.
As Hazard says, cue the Twilight Zone music. Oh God, Hogan versus Undertaker.
Let's try that one more time.
You want to see that?
Hogan versus Undertaker. I did see it in 1991.
No, I mean you want to see it.
And I did see it again. Freaking, it was for the.
Hello.
Hello.
Hey, how's it going?
How's it going, dude?
It's good.
What's going on today?
Just still in bed.
Oh, really? Watching the show in bed, eating food at the same time, or what?
Yes, eating food.
And
Naked
food.
in bed.
In bed with food and naked.
Naked?
Yes.
There's anything better than that.
Damn.
Nope.
Something you'd like to discuss today, sir?
Wrestling.
All right. What do you want to say about it? Tell us your thoughts.
I think WWE shit.
Another person here. WWE shit.
Doesn't everybody think that WWE shit? Or is it only me?
I think
General idea.
it's weird. I think pretty much everyone does, but there's like those fans that like they always think it's gonna become really a lot better. You know, you ever talk to these people?
No.
No, you don't need to do So I'm telling you, they're always like, everything that happens, they could spin it some way. And they always think it's going to turn out really good.
Every time. It disappoints every time.
I do know some people who, like, they see the worst shit on TV, like the AJ stuff, and instead of, like, to me, when I look at it, I just see it as boring and, like, nonsensical. When they see it, they think, like, oh, it's kind of funny, it's entertaining. And I guess those are the people
have different
who
ideas
watch.
about things. And,
Like I said, I don't brag on them. It's just, that's what they like. I just don't see how that benefits the company. But for them watching a show, on a Monday night, then I guess it's good for them.
Right.
I was gonna ask. Do you guys remember your first wrestling match that you watched?
The first thing you ever saw?
Yeah.
Oh, wow. One of the first
Bret
things
Hart.
I actually really remember, like, seeing was when Jake the Snake bit the Macho Man. Like, I was just kind of going through the channels, and, like, that was one of the first things I ever saw.
When he was tied up on the ropes?
Yeah, Macho Man was getting bit by the snake. And I was like, what the hell is this? And then the first actual, like, pay-per-view I ever was able to watch, I watched it at my grandfather's house. He passed away some years ago. But it was actually that Survivor Series I mentioned earlier, where the main event was Hogan versus Undertaker, and Ric Flair came out and cost Hogan the title.
What about you, Stormy guys?
The very, like, obviously, I wasn't a wrestling fan. I was just a kid. I was like 5 or 6 years old. And it must have been delayed because I was watching it in Mexico. All that stuff back down there is delayed. Yeah. And I was watching Bret Hart versus Mr. Perfect. I don't remember what show it was, but it was just them wrestling. And, of course, them, just pure technical wrestling.
Yeah, it could have been SummerSlam. It could have been King of the Ring. They had a couple matches.
And I just saw that. And, of course, 2 of the best wrestlers of all time. And just hooked on it. And I just kept on. When I came back to the United States, I was just looking for it. And I just found, Raw and all that stuff and just started watching.
I remember back in the day seeing, like, Undertaker's entrance. Because it was on Saturday, like, wrestling was on Saturday, but WWF Superstars was on Saturday mornings. And you, as a kid, you just watch TV because you can't drive or have money or anything. And, like, going through the channels and seeing Undertaker's entrance. And it's like, what the hell is this? Because it's not a cartoon. It's not...
it's both.
It's
both.
Yeah,
it was
it's
real
not,
life
like, is it a superhero show? Like, what is this? But it's real at the same time. And there's nothing really like it when you see something like that,
Yeah, so it's like watching a cartoon, but these people exist.
Right.
They're just like you, yeah.
My first match, it was embarrassing. I think it was Scotty Too Hotty.
Oh, wow, okay. I probably saw it, so I don't feel bad.
It was embarrassing. And I thought it was the greatest thing ever, and I was like, that was stupid.
Scotty Too Hotty against who?
I don't remember, but I remember it was Scotty Too Hotty and Rikishi against... I don't remember who
Those
it was.
Those guys were huge, man. They would main event Raws.
Yeah, I remember that.
Cool.
But
they had some of the best reactions of all the nights.
Oh yeah, they were big at one point, and then they turned Rikishi heel because he ran over Austin for no reason.
I did it for The Rock.
Yeah, no, that was the reason. Okay.
That's what he said. He has like the worst one-liner of all time.
Yeah. All right.
Horrible.
Yeah.
All right,
dude. Thanks a lot, man.
Yeah.
We'll talk to you soon.
Thank you for calling.
All right, take care.
All right, bye.
Bye.
Oh, it was some good calls so far.
Yeah. WWE is shit. First thing that they say.
And Hazard wants to come on. He's always on the show. He wants to come on here too. Should we do it?
Sure.
All right, we'll have him in.
Brodus Clay is the new Rikishi.
No.
Hazard.
Hey guys.
How you doing, man?
Nice
You
to
sound
see
like you're sleeping. What's going on?
Yeah. Like we woke him up.
I'm quite tired. I mean, I'm going to bed like at 10 p.m. like every night and waking up at 6 in the morning.
What are you doing that for?
Just so I can work and revise for exams. And
I
stuff.
don't need to work.
I do need to work.
No, you don't.
No one works nowadays.
Yes.
Find a pyramid scheme.
Move to America. We're all on welfare and.
It's a pyramid scheme, dude.
Yes. All right.
Ponzi schemes.
What's going on today, dude?
Not much. I just thought I'd come and ask because I started watching WWE in 2004, I think. I think it was 2004, 2005.
Yeah.
And that was when I remember seeing like John Cena's debut match.
Yes.
Where he wrestled Kurt. Well, he didn't. He sort of wrestled Kurt Angle more. He got pulverized by Kurt Angle, which was quite funny. But I was wondering, as someone who never experienced the Attitude Era, what do you think would be the staple match that kind of like embodies like what the Attitude Era was? Like, what do you think was the best feud then?
Here's the thing with that, though. I think a lot of people do this. They go, well, what's the best match of the Attitude Era? What's the best thing of the Attitude Era? And then people look it up on YouTube and they watch it and they go, that wasn't that great, you know?
Yeah.
It's not like one thing. It's just, literally, it's an era that where guys get built, guys are made to look important. Many of the guys get over. And
the most special parts of the Attitude Era was like the segments, the promos, the build up, just the characters coming out, and just the overall entertainment factor. The Attitude Era does have a lot of memorable matches, but as far as like pure wrestling matches, they didn't have that many.
Yeah,
but it's just
if you want to boil it down to matches, probably like, you know, the Rock Austin stuff, definitely.
Rock Austin,
Yeah.
Rock
It's more
Mankind.
about it's not so much about like here's a match. It's so amazing. It's more of about just like the way everything was built, the way things were done,
and who was in the match.
Yeah, with the interactions of the characters were very important, and that's more what it's about. Because I see people like they'll watch certain things, like a lot of the stupid stuff that happened, and they go, "Oh, this is no different than what they do today. It's just stupid," you know. But a lot of the silliness was mixed in with a lot of good stuff, and the majority of it was not stupidity, you know.
Yeah. Now, like nowadays, the whole show is like one giant joke. Everything's like comedy. Everything's like
They did make an Attitude Era DVD recently. I don't know. I didn't see it or anything. I don't really know what's on it.
I haven't seen it.
That is out now, I think.
I'll take a look. Definitely
check that out. Yeah. And not only that, but like the fact that WCW was pretty decent at the same exact time, and then you had ECW, which was completely different than all of that. Altogether, just made it a good couple of years there. It was a fun time.
And for the people who aren't really like that knowledgeable about the Attitude Era, again, WWE 13 has like great video packages, just summing it up in a nutshell.
Do you work for WWE?
If I did, I wouldn't be able to talk like this. If I did, I wouldn't be able to talk on here.
Okay. Anyway, thanks guys.
All right, dude. Thanks a lot. We'll talk to you soon.
Talk to you guys later. Bye.
Would you work for WWE if they offered you some kind of position?
Depends on what it is. If it was like some production stuff or something, yeah, I'll do it. But if it's like creative, nah.
You wouldn't do creative?
If they just told me like, here, just do a couple little like some graphics or something, yeah, I'll do it.
I think it would suck to work for Vince.
That's what I'm saying. Like everybody always says that when you're in the same building as Vince, there's like some tension in the air that you can't even do anything. Like people have gotten in trouble for sneezing in front of him.
Really? Sneeze on him.
Because you can't control. He's all about self-control. Paul Heyman has said that.
Yeah.
Some guy got in trouble for eating a Snickers bar in front of him.
Really?
Yeah.
Did he wipe it on him like the chocolate? Or?
I have no clue. It's just Paul Heyman said that if you sneeze, he thinks that you don't have control over your body, and you don't have control.
I think we got somebody who wants to come in.
Sure.
Anything going on in the chat?
No, it's just reminiscing the Attitude Era.
Yeah, we had a good amount of people in today. It was pretty cool because it was kind of, I didn't make any announcement other than on Twitter like yesterday, I think, right?
Yeah, I'm pretty sure.
So that's pretty good. Thanks for coming in, everybody.
It's more than what I get on my stream.
Do you stream? I didn't even know that.
Every once in a while I will. I play Super Mario World.
That's it?
Yo.
Hey, how's it going, man?
Oh my gosh, my dog is huge. Hello, everyone.
How are you, sir?
Doing all right, I guess.
What's the problem? You seem like you're a little distressed.
I can't believe it. You have done about 50 plus audio shows, and I've never been in one of them.
Really?
Wow.
You gotta call me up, man. Come on.
I know I've been trying, but hasn't really
trying. All right. Well, we got you today. You got to make it worth it.
I know.
Then I won't have you on again. This will be it. You'll be done.
Okay. Trust me. If Cyber Demon can come back, you can come back.
I've probably done like 100 audio shows at this point.
I know that.
Too many.
I know. Oh, I've had my fair share of audio shows from. Oh yeah.
So what's going on today, dude? What do you want to talk about?
I say we talk about the massive conundrum that is the Royal Rumble that is coming up.
Okay.
Because this year seems like the biggest load of I don't know what's going on, because you have the title match coming up, Rock versus Punk. which everyone's saying, oh, Rock's gonna win, blah 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 blah. But then we don't really know what's gonna happen with anything else, especially the Rumble match itself, because like no one knows who's gonna win it this time. Like there's been speculation that Sheamus is gonna win it again, and I'm like, okay, no, please, because they're trying to build up a Sheamus versus Randy Orton match for the World Heavyweight title, and I for one don't exactly want to see that.
No,
to be honest.
I've seen it before,
like wasn't there like a WrestleMania like quite a while back that had the two.
They did it in SummerSlam in 2010, I believe, during the whole Nexus thing.
They've had matches on Raws and things like that, SmackDowns. But now if Orton's a heel, it'll be the same match, but he cheats sometimes. It won't be very interesting.
Yeah. So. Some speculation as to who might be winning it. Like people have been saying they want Ziggler to win it, even though he's got the Money in the Bank. People are saying that maybe there's one guy I think in the comments was saying that maybe it'd be interesting if The Rock lost the WWE title or he didn't win, and then he'd be in the Royal Rumble and then he'd win it and then he'd challenge Punk again at the WrestleMania. I'm not sure how I'd think about that because I mean that's The Rock taking a Royal Rumble spot. I mean, does he really need it? Like I'm not too sure, to be honest. I
don't know. There's a lot of different ways you could go with it.
Yeah, it seems so unpredictable this year. Because last year it was like, oh, Chris Jericho, he's going to win it for sure. And then all of a sudden, Sheamus won it. But I'm not too... Like, it is literally... It can go any direction.
Well, the problem is the Rumble's been kind of de-emphasized because the last 2 years, the guy who won the Rumble...
the opening match,
opens the show. So I don't even know if the Rumble matters.
And like last year, the winner of the Royal Rumble got, what, like 18 seconds before he won the title. So it's like, what's the whole point of even having it whenever, like... We already knew last year that Rock Cena was going to headline WrestleMania. What's the point of even winning the Rumble?
Yeah.
To be honest.
I also don't. I don't even know if you should call it Royal Rumble anymore. Just call it like Jobbers on Parade. Because you go out there, all you see. Tell me how many stars you really see on there. You get Yoshitatsu coming out there, Tyson Kidd, and the Usos and some shit like.
Yeah, they get really exposed. Like the Rumble really exposes them to see the entire roster, and you're like 20 guys in. You're like, this is the.
They don't have.
This is the
roster. They don't have 30 people. They don't have 30 people to go put out there and like to make everybody matter. Like everybody look. You look at these people. I'm sure Alex Riley's going to be in the Rumble somehow, and you haven't seen him in like 2 years.
He'll be number one.
He was number two like last time, and he got put out instantly.
Yeah.
Exactly.
What I would do, if you're gonna have Rock beat Punk, and you want to keep Punk at the top, I'd have Punk enter himself at like the number 1 or 2 spot in the Rumble, and then he wins. Like he loses to Rock and immediately enters the Rumble and wins it, and maybe goes back to his character from last year, where maybe he doesn't want Heyman anymore. Maybe he's competent in matches again, and he's on his own again, and that's what I would do. I would try to, if you're going to take away from him, I'd give something back to him at the same time, and I don't know.
And then another interesting thing that people are bringing up is if Rock does win at Royal Rumble, what's going to happen at Elimination Chamber? If The Rock really is going to win it, how is he going to defend against 5 like other people in the Elimination Chamber? I mean, like it seems pretty obscure for him to come back for one match and then immediately have to defend at another pay-per-view.
You do what they do. You do what they did last year. You fill it up with Kofi, The Miz, R-Truth, and Santino. So whoever the fuck you can throw in there.
The Raw Chamber.
The Raw Chamber was horrible last year. It's only 2 people who actually meant anything.
My room doesn't plug in.
It's just Punk and Jericho were the only 2 like good people in that elimination.
It'll be like the same amount of guys. It'll be like the same guys with Rock instead of Jericho, I guess. Something like that.
Yeah.
Oh, man. Also, another question about the Royal Rumble, and then I'll let you bring it up. People want to know, like, what's going to main event that show? The actual Royal Rumble or Rock versus Punk?
Depends if they do anything kind of storyline-wise or not, but you got to think the Rumble ends it because...
it's called the Royal Rumble.
That's how it's always been, and also I think time-wise it's...
Well, at the same time last year, Elimination Chamber, sure, there was no Elimination Chamber as the main event. It was the ambulance match.
John Cena and Kane ambulance match. Embrace the hate.
That was awful.
They could do the thing where they start with the Rumble and then Rock and Punk ends it, and then whoever wins, the Rock and Punk, they stand there with the belt, and then whoever won the Rumble comes out, stares at them or whatever, and you do that whole deal.
Yeah, but it'll be interesting to see what they'll do with
definitely. I'm interested in the Rumble. I'm gonna definitely check it out, and compared to a lot of the other shows, I'm definitely excited to see it. I'd say.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
So. All right, dude. Thanks for coming.
All right.
We'll have you on again.
Okay.
No worries, man.
All right.
Hope you're not pissed or anything. You know, it's...
No, of course not.
All right, dude. Have a nice day. Thanks for checking it out.
All right,
Thanks.
see ya.
All right, bye.
Bye.
All right. All right, we're going to do one more caller, and then we'll probably start wrapping it up. You cool over there?
Yes, sir, I am.
All right. You having fun?
Kind of.
You having a bad time?
I'm playing. Define fun.
Are you having a great time?
Yes. I always have a great time here. John Rambo Presents. Who doesn't?
That's what you're supposed to do.
Here we
You're
go.
supposed to do it.
Hello, sir.
Let me make sure this. Can you hear me?
Yes, we can.
Yeah, we can.
Okay. Last time
I hear Vader. I hear a Vader theme.
Is that?
I was on the
Is that
show.
coming
My,
Might be coming from my end. I don't know what's going on. Oh, that was from me. I thought you were playing Vader's theme, but I was doing it.
no.
All right.
What's up, man?
Yes, it's working. That's good. Last time I was on the show, Skype picked up a different mic, and I was just sitting there silent for 15 minutes. So.
Oh, nice. Then I hung up on you like a jerk.
No, you didn't. You hung in there for me.
That's what I do. I hang in there.
He doesn't even remember, dude.
I remember this. What do you want to talk about today, man?
That's what matters. I remember.
All right, good.
All right, first off, I would like to say I am the guy that thought of the Rock winning the Rumble idea in the chat. Just because, and when we were talking about the Elimination Chamber problem, I thought, well, that's one way they would circumvent that.
Yeah.
But, of course, I don't think he should win it. But it's WWE, so I do like the Punk idea.
I think Punk winning it would be better. As I don't think Rock, whatever Rock does at WrestleMania, I think he's gonna lose because he's probably gonna be gone again. Although it didn't really stop him last year from winning. I don't know.
I do think that if you're gonna take the title off of Punk, making him win the Royal Rumble later on that night would be a good compensation.
It would.
Wouldn't make him look as bad.
I am here more to talk about the main card, or the mid card.
Okay.
Because the mid card is complete and utter shit, and it can be fixed.
How do we do it?
I was talking in the chat about my big idea for the U.S. title, because I think you can. I don't know about the IC title. That one, it's on Kofi. I don't feel like Kofi has much of a character. He's not bad in the ring. He doesn't have anything to do.
Yeah.
But Cesaro, even though he does have that generic, Europeans got the U.S. title, they can do something with that.
Yeah.
And first things first, there's two people I think can really challenge for that, considering he's running around saying, no American can beat me for the title. First thing you do, take Cena down into the mid-card and have him go against Cesaro.
Mm-hmm.
And for once, Cena loses, which of course will never happen, but it would build Cesaro big time, put importance on the title again, which of course builds every other title, because, this is just supposed to be the mid-card.
And then, see how that's a solution for everything. John Cena loses to someone. That seems to be a solution.
We also had the same idea, but that's an interesting idea to have Cena challenge for like one of the secondary belts to try to make it seem like he really wants one of them. Like, Cena wants this belt, and then he can't win. He loses it. It's kind of an interesting idea.
Not only that, but he tries, or at least WWE tries to make him be like this, big supporter of the troops and this all-American guy. It's definitely a good character to take before they change it, which it needs to be changed. But before they do that, they could have him, have Cesaro go over him, and that would help a lot with both the title and for Cesaro.
Yeah, I think just John Cena, like, I'm not even going to say being demoted, just joining the rest of the roster.
Exactly,
would be really good for everyone else.
That's just him cooperating, and if he does lose to Cesaro,
Go ahead.
If he does lose to Cesaro, it's gonna help not only the title, not only him, but also the title. It'll make the U.S. title look like something that a top guy like John Cena would want and can't get.
Yeah, and it's not so much Cena being demoted as much as he's helping promote other guys and bring them up.
Right.
Yeah.
But I think.
Yeah, I mean, a lot of times the guys make the title. Like, the title doesn't really always make the guy. The guy can make the title. Like when Zack Ryder was U.S. champion, like he wanted it so much.
It meant something.
Was my dream to have this, and then when he got it, like it mattered for a bit.
Yeah.
Like, this guy really wants this. It must be important then.
When he won it at TLC, like, just his reaction alone of how much he celebrated, it made it look like it's something that other people would want to have too, instead of just someone winning it and just holding on to it all year long.
Yes.
Yeah, so I think that would be a very important first step. But then, of course, you have to have a new challenger. And I can think of no better character, especially somebody who hasn't been on for a while, than Jack Swagger. As sad as that is. You know, he used to call himself the All-American American, comes back, has a face, hasn't been on in a while, so people somewhat have forgotten that he's just a jobber, and actually looks good in a few matches while, you know, going back and forth on the mic with Cesaro, and have a decent 3-month feud between them for the title.
Yeah.
And, I mean, it doesn't really matter who goes over in the end. They're both going to be made if they do it right and they book it properly.
Right.
And, again, it puts some importance on the title.
One of the things I like to see them do is what they used to do back when I first started watching was that the Intercontinental title was like a stepping stone for the world title. And a lot of the guys that had the Intercontinental title would eventually become the world champion, years later. So you would look at the Intercontinental title and who had that, and you would go, wow, this is important. This guy's probably going to be the top guy someday, you know?
Yeah, he's someone to look out for because he might be in the main event.
The guy to look,
soon.
Shawn Michaels, your Bret Harts, all those guys. So it mattered because you go, this is the next generation. These are the next guys that have this. You know, you don't have that sense now, I don't think. It's just kind of like they have it, and
it's like just strictly an accessory right now.
It's an accessory. That's right.
Yeah, I don't like the title being on Kofi at all. I don't feel like he has enough character to carry it, and it's not his fault. He's good in the ring and everything. He's entertaining to watch.
He never talks.
Yeah.
And it's not necessarily that he's not a talker. He's, he definitely needs some experience, but he doesn't have a character.
He's a guy that jumps around. He jumps around and he does booms. That's about it.
Yeah, that's all really you know about him. All you know is he's just a fake Jamaican guy from Africa. Like you said, jumps around, does the boom stuff. And why is he wrestling? What's he wrestling for? What does he really want to accomplish in the company? You have no clue. He's just there.
Yeah, well, that's a lot of them. A lot of the guys.
Yeah, it doesn't just go for Kofi. It's just a lot of people who don't have characters. And then they wonder why they're not over.
Yeah.
And Barrett is a god-awful challenger for the Intercontinental title because he should be, more in that main event picture right now. They brought him back pretty much for nothing.
Yeah, I agree.
If he did get the belt, though, I don't think it would help him. It would probably help the title a little bit.
Yeah.
I just don't know where he would go. Even if he did win the IC title, where would he go from there? Just in, next challenger number 2?
Yeah,
at the end of the day,
much.
everyone needs to have something to do, and that's all it comes down to. You can't have people just doing things for no reason because then you don't care. The audience sees through that, and you just don't care.
Yeah.
If what I'm watching doesn't mean anything or matter, I don't really need to be watching it.
Mm-hmm.
It's not like a lot of the matches are so good. I mean, you could say, the wrestling, but a lot of times it's 3 minutes. So.
Yeah, people can say they had a great wrestling match, like Sheamus and Cesaro had a great wrestling match a couple of weeks ago on Raw, but where's that going to go?
Yeah.
What was that?
There's something to be said about good wrestling matches, but they're few and far between, really. I mean. So.
Yeah.
All right, sir. Thank you very much, man. Anything else you want to say before you get out of here?
No, not really. I really don't know who Taker's going to take on at WrestleMania. I'll be excited to see who that is. And then they'll blow it, of course.
I'm thinking something with Lesnar and maybe Triple H. You know how they always do the thing where one of them tells the other guy not to do it? Like Shawn Michaels tells Triple H not to do it or something, and they always do that. So maybe Triple H will be the one that tells Undertaker not to fight Lesnar or something like that. Or he'll be the ref or something instead of Michaels, maybe. That's what I'm thinking. Something with those guys.
I see Lesnar Taker as a definite possibility, although I would almost rather see Lesnar Cena and have Lesnar go over just to walk out and Cena be put out for 2 months.
That's what they should have done back in last year.
Yeah.
Extreme Rules. But I would guess if I had to guess something with Lesnar and Triple H is involved in as the ref or something like that. And it could be Hell in the Cell again, maybe too. I don't know, the same thing.
Yeah, the only reason I say anything about Lesnar Cena is because you have to imagine that when he comes back again, he would want to get at Cena, but of course he's going to completely forget that Cena beat him in 2 moves.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, that never happened.
I mean, he came back. He came back on Raw 1000 or whatever, and he didn't give a fuck.
Yeah, he didn't care about that. He was all about. I'm still. He was still. They still call him like the monster and undefeated and everything else. So.
I'm an ass kicker. Isn't that what he said?
All right, dude. Thanks a lot, man.
Yeah, it was good to be on. See you guys next time.
All right, we'll talk to you later.
All right, see you, dude.
That's going to wrap it up. You know what we forgot to talk about WWE this year? John Laurinaitis. The Laurinaitis era.
Was it an era?
Yeah. He was like the top guy. He was like the top guy in the show for like.
He was the top heel, and they never used him. Well, they never really like blew the heat off.
Thank God he's gone. I went to Raw. That's what was going on. He was like all over the show. That's the Raw I got to go to this year. So we're glad that's over. It seems like they're heading into a better direction. And from a lot of the calls we got today, it seems like people are intrigued as to what's going to happen.
Yeah.
At Rumble and Mania. So that's good stuff, you know.
The good part is it's not so transparent. Like we're not fully sure on what's going to happen even next month.
Yeah.
So that's a good thing. Like as soon as you see what happens at the Rumble, maybe you'll start seeing things solidify. Of course, who wins the Rumble, who's champion after that, and so on and so forth.
Right. It's gonna wrap us up, man. Did you have a good time on the Smorgasbord today?
Yeah, I forgot that it's called the Smorgasbord. So you got to beat into people's heads.
You just denied the name. Well, you know what people could call it? The PWS podcast. Yeah, I think it's a good name, too. That's probably what I'll... hashtag PWS, by the way. No, that's probably what we'll call it a lot of times. It's kind of an awkward word to say, but I think it's kind of funny at the same time.
Yeah, you'll remember it at least.
You'll remember that. Oh, yeah. I think with the plan right now, this is going to be like a monthly show. Do this once a month, go all out on it. If you guys really like it a lot, the reaction is real big for it. Maybe we'll consider, if we have time as well. If you have time, I don't know what you're doing. You're a busy guy.
Yeah.
Then maybe consider doing it a little bit more than that, something like that. But I definitely had a good time, man. I think it's a fresh idea of talking about various topics, and I definitely enjoyed it,
Yeah, it's when you talk to me about the idea, it was way better than a wrestling recap show. Like, I just hate talking about.
Everybody saw the shows already. You don't have to tell them again.
Yeah, and also nobody wants to recap a horrible Raw or a horrible SmackDown or whatever the hell happens.
Right, and then it comes off as really just negative too, because you're just like, oh, this sucked.
Yeah. It starts becoming a show where you're just beating a dead horse of how bad the show was.
Like, people know it sucked. You don't have to say it.
Yeah, and I think a lot of the wrestling news that happens, like on the dirt sheets and stuff, is like more interesting than the actual wrestling itself sometimes.
Yeah, that is true.
I said as it may be.
I think the hope for this, I definitely want to get some possibly some guests in here, like some actual wrestlers to be on. I haven't contacted anyone yet. I don't know if I think hashtag RambosZit. Thank you very much.
RambosZit. Oh, there we go.
That's my Christmas present to all of you.
That's the
what I want.
That's what you get for being an HD.
I got to take a bath. You don't shower. I didn't want my relatives near me for the holidays, so I just didn't shower for like 2 weeks, and they left me alone. But this is what happens.
You have an aura.
What was I talking about? Oh yeah, I want to start get some guests in here. I think we had to do one, so I could go to people now and go, look, this is what we did. Would you like to be on this? That kind of thing.
Someone wants Sakamoto. Can you get him?
Sakamoto, he's in the bathroom right now. He's not used to the food that I prepare.
Oh, he's in your house.
He's here. Yeah, he's here.
Holy shit!
I have him. I'm protecting him from Tensa. Tensa's out of control. He beats him up and
racial slurs.
He calls him. He calls him and leaves racially insensitive voicemails.
I saw that tout before they took it down.
Oh, you did? You're all over the tout. You're all over the tout.
I just saw it in the dirt sheets where they said racial tout caused this Tensai's account to get shut down or something.
Well, I had a really good time doing this. It was a lot of fun.
Yeah, I definitely like the caller aspect. I love talking with these people who obviously they know their own stuff about wrestling and they have their own opinions. I always like to hear other people's opinions because everybody has their own, especially when it comes to wrestling.
At the end of the day, we're all fans. We're not wrestling journalists or anything like that.
Oh, no.
Nor do I want to be. We're just fans kind of just talking, hanging out, and having a good time. So that's what it's all about. Whether you agree with what we say, whether you disagree, it's all good. Mm-hmm. And we gotta hopefully someday we get some guy that's just real pissed at us and just wants to.
I want that, dude. I like.
We'll see. Maybe someday. But we tend to attract some nice people, and that's
the nice people.
I wouldn't feel bad about that.
Yeah, exactly. We're not complaining.
So we're gonna wrap it up, man. Any final words or anything?
No, I mean other than I do feel
weird, everybody, right?
What's up?
Wish everybody a happy New Year or something. That's a good thing.
Oh yeah, happy New Year! First and last show of the year of Pro Wrestling Smorgasbord, and I am also a fan of the show. So me, along with everyone else, will be looking forward to that in 2013.
Yeah, the show's back on Wednesday, and all that stuff.
Yeah, good stuff. That's about it for me.
I'm gonna pop this shit now. Should I film it? Should I make a video of it?
Well, let me close
live
this
stream. A live stream.
Let me close your feed
Zit
before I see that shit. I don't want to see that shit.
You don't want to see it? I'm not doing
You
it.
can do it. You can do it. I'll close.
That'll be a separate. That's a separate ordeal. The whole thing.
Do it on pay-per-view. Charge like $5.
I'll do a whole new show about hygiene and things like that.
Like just make like one of those YouTube premium videos, like a 4-second video of you popping the zit for like $5.
Oh, yeah. All right, guys. Thank you very much. We don't have a closing for this show. I have to think of. I don't have one right now.
Yeah. You can make one.
I hope you enjoyed the smorgasbord, and
hope you had enough.
Hope you had enough. Go regurgitate the byproducts of your meal. All right. We'll talk to you later. Thank you very much.
All right. Bye.
Bye.